Dewa Mai Subhadra Prabhupada Jaya, 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 Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Om Vishnu Padam Parivajagacharya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jai. Om Vishnu Padam Hamsa Parivajagacharya Stotarata Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavini ki Jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jai. Namacharya Śrīlas Thakur ki Jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Śrīla Prabhupāda ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti Jai Gaur Premanandi, all glories to some, all glories to some, all glories to some, all glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Namchaivananotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiriye
Jayamudiriye
Nastaprayeshu Vabhatreshu
Nastaprayeshu Vabhatreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama-shloke
Bhagavati Uttama-shloke
Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistiki
Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistiki.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Divasiddhan Mandir Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. Today reading from Canto 1, Chapter 15, text number 35. The Pandavas retire timely. Yata Matsyadi Rupani Dhate Jayad Yatanataha Bhubaraha Shapito Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram Yata Matsyadi Rupani Dhate Jaya Yatanataha Bhubara Shapito Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram Yata Matsyadi Rupani Dhate Jaya Yatanataha Bhubaraha Shapito Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram
Yata Matsyadi Rupani Tatte Jahya Yatanata Ubara Shapito Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram
Yatha Matsyadi Rupani Datte Jayat Yathanata Upara Kshapitu Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram
Yatha Matsyadi
Rupani Datte Jayat Yathanata Upara Kshapitu Yena Jahau Tacha Kalevaram
Yatha Matsyadi Rupani
Yata Matsyadi Rupani
Yata, as much as,
Matsya,
incarnation as a fish, etc.
incarnation of bliss, etc.
Rupani,
Rupani,
forms.
forms.
Date,
Datte,
eternally accepts.
eternally accepts.
Jayat,
Jayat,
apparently relinquishes.
apparently relinquishes.
Yata,
Yata,
exactly like.
exactly like.
Nataha,
Nataka,
magician.
magician.
Bhubara,
Ubara,
burdens of the world.
burden of the world.
Shapita,
Shapita,
relieved.
relief.
Yena,
Yena,
by which.
by which.
Jehovah, let go.
Let go.
Tat,
Tat,
that.
then,
Cha,
cha,
also.
also.
Kalevara,
Kalevara,
body. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Vaichananda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which He manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, He relinquishes one body to accept other different ones. Just like the fish are incarnation in others. Please repeat. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which He manifested
which He manifested
to diminish
to diminish
the burden of the earth.
the burden of the earth.
Just like a magician,
Just like a magician
he relinquishes one
relinquishes one
body to accept
body to accept
different ones, like the fish incarnation
like the fish incarnation.
and others. The Supreme Lord, personality of God, it is neither impersonal nor formless, but His body is non-different from Him. And therefore, He is known as the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. In the Brihad Vaishnava Tantra, it is clearly mentioned that anyone who considers the form of the Lord Kṛṣṇa to be made of material energy must be ostracized by all means. And if by chance the faith of such an infidel is seen, one must clean himself by jumping in the river with his clothing. The Lord is described as Amrita, or deathless, because He has no material body. Under the circumstances, the Lord's dying or quitting His body is like the jugglery of a magician. The magician shows his tricks that he is cut to pieces, burnt to ashes, or made unconscious by hypnotic influences. But all are false shows only. Factually, the magician himself is neither burnt to ashes nor cut to pieces, nor is he dead or unconscious at any stage of his magical demonstration. Similarly, the Lord has His eternal forms of unlimited variety, of which the fish incarnation, as was exhibited within this universe, is also one. But because there are innumerable universes, somewhere or other the fish incarnation must be manifesting His pastimes without cessation. In this verse, the particular word date, eternally accepted, and not the word ditva, accepted for the occasion, is used. The idea is that the Lord does not create the fish incarnation. He eternally has such a form, and the appearance and disappearance of such an incarnation serves a particular purpose. In Bhagavad Gita 7:24-25, the Lord says, the impersonalists think that I have no form, that I am formless. But at present I have accepted a form to serve a purpose, and now I am manifesting. But such speculators are factually without sharp intelligence. Though they may be good scholars of Vedic literature, they are practically ignorant of my inconceivable energies and my eternal forms of personality. The reason is that I reserve the power of not being exposed to the non-devotees by my mystic curtain. The less intelligent fools are therefore unaware of my eternal form, which is never to be vanquished and is unborn. In the Padma Purana, it is said, those who are envious and always angry at the Lord are unfit to know the actual and eternal form of the Lord. In the Bhagavatam, it is also said that the Lord appeared like a thunderbolt to those who were wrestlers. Shishupal, at the time of being killed by the Lord, could not see Him as Kṛṣṇa, being dazzled by the glare of the Brahmajyoti. Therefore, the temporary manifestation of the Lord as a thunderbolt to the wrestlers appointed by Kamsa, or the glaring appearance of the Lord before Shishupal, was relinquished by the Lord. But the Lord as a magician is eternally existent and is never vanquished in any circumstance. Such forms are temporarily shown to the Asuras only. And when such exhibitions are withdrawn, and the Asuras think that the Lord is no more existent, just as the foolish audience thinks that the magician can be burnt to ashes or cut to pieces. The conclusion is the Lord has no material body, and therefore he is never to be killed or changed by his transcendental body. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vidrati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagadatam Sagana Raghunatam Mitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Sadhana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Mitamsya He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandhu Vrigatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripri Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body by which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnation and others die. So here we are in the chapter, the Pandavas retire timely. So Krishna has, of course, left this planet, and the Pandavas are, Arjuna specifically, has come to Hastinapur to relay the news. Maharaj Yudhishthira, being such an expert in all regards, of course, an eternal associate of the Lord, he knew by the bad omens before Arjuna even appeared, as we saw in the beginning of this chapter, that something is not good, that Krishna has left, because he was able to observe so many peculiarities in nature, in different circumstances, and this is the expertise of Yudhishthira Maharaj, that he can decipher these significant these events and understand what it is. And of course, we saw a couple of verses prior that he said, "It's time for me to go too." So one very important point here is the devotee knows that this material world is not a place to create a long-term residence. It is here to do our job. And what is our job? To remove our illusion of who am I and who is Krishna and what is my relationship. That illusion has to be removed. And so Yudhishthira Maharaj obviously came as an eternal associate for the purpose of serving in Krishna's mission, but he was never under such illusion, decided to leave. So here in this verse, we're seeing that the Supreme Lord relinquished his body. And this is a point of great confusion, and it is the fundamental flaw in the conditioned soul's logic. That we learn very early on in our spiritual journey that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. But here we see Kṛṣṇa is his body. Prabhupada writes, but his body is non-different from him. So this is complete opposite of us. So when we observe, the disappearance of Kṛṣṇa, I remember once we were talking about this and how, Kṛṣṇa was shot in the toe, right? And thus he left this world. No. He didn't leave because he was shot in the toe.
shot in the toe.
The arrow, when he was lying, and that's not why he left. Why Kṛṣṇa left?
He did not left. He disappeared.
Yeah, but why he disappeared?
His mission is completed.
Because he wanted to. Simple.
Whenever he wants to live, he can live.
He is free to do whatever.
Why he appeared?
He wanted to appear.
He wanted to appear. Any of us gets to pick our birthday?
No.
I would like to be born on April 16th. Anybody gets to pick? No. Kṛṣṇa? Kṛṣṇa picks. I'll appear now. Anybody gets to pick? I would like to appear in this place. But Kṛṣṇa? He says, yes, I'll appear here in the prison house. Anybody gets to pick their parents? So for us, our appearance is forced by nature. Prakriti, material nature. Says here, this time, in this form, everything is ordained. But Kṛṣṇa, his appearance is according to his will. So, we have to immediately understand that our appearance and Kṛṣṇa's appearance are not the same. But the nature of the human is that we see things through our lens. Right? We see through things through our perspective. So, that creates a flaw. When I see things, because I had this circumstance, Kṛṣṇa must have the same. And that is why we must understand things through Shastra, through Guru and Sadhu. Then we can understand that Kṛṣṇa is his body. There is no difference between his body and Kṛṣṇa, that they are one. Again, our body, we are not. That we spend so much time trying to understand. But we also have to understand the other side of it. Because the implications are severe or significant. So if Kṛṣṇa is his body, then his body is Sat Chit Ananda. It means that there is no material machinery in his body. He has no, esophagus and stomach and bladder and liver and kidney and blood and veins and all, muscle. No, he doesn't have any machinery. That's all matter. But when we see the form of Kṛṣṇa, we observe, or we'd like to think like this. But that is not the case. Just like when during Damodar Leela, Kṛṣṇa is drinking milk from mother. Right? So there is a transcendental competition occurring. that Mother Yashoda is giving so much love to Krishna in the form of her milk that it is flowing non-stop. And Krishna is drinking and drinking and drinking. But you would think, well, how much a baby can drink? His stomach is this big. So maybe half a liter. But Krishna doesn't have a stomach. He has no capacity, no boundaries. So, the milk on the stove is saying, wait a minute, Krishna will never stop drinking Mother Yashoda's milk. So then, we will never have the chance to serve the Lord. And thus, as we know, it started overflowing. So the point is that in all these circumstances, when Krishna was shot in the toe, some blood came. But the blood was not caused by the arrow. The blood was caused by Krishna's presentation. And that's why, not that's why, but we have a factual understanding of this. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the soul cannot be cut by any weapon. Right? Cannot be cut by any weapon. And soul is Sat Chit Ananda. And where the soul comes from? Krishna. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. They're my eternal fragmental part. So if the soul cannot be cut by weapon, then by definition, then Krishna's body cannot be cut by weapon. How it can be cut by weapon? Because his body is Satchitananda. Understand? So when Krishna shows even Bhishma Pita, the semblance of blood from the arrows, and is not being caused by the weapon. Because soul cannot be cut by a weapon, and of course super soul, the source of our soul, cannot be cut by a weapon. Because matter cannot touch spirit. So Krishna performs these different pastimes for various purposes. And because his control is absolute. Nothing can be forced upon him. Everything is absolute for Krishna. So, this very important point is that Krishna relinquished his body when he chose to, not by some other external factor. And his forms, Śrīla Prabhupāda writes here, are eternally present. Like he gives the example of, in the verse, Matsya avatāra. So it is called a Nitya Lila. We say, no, Matsya avatāra is done. Yes, Matsya avatāra is done in this universe. But in some universe, it is the time for Matsya to appear. And in some universe, it is a time that Krishna is lifting Govardhan. And in some universe, Lord Ram is vanquishing Ravan. Because there are unlimited numbers of universes. And in one of those universes, according to the schedule, who creates the schedule? Krishna. It is time for him to appear. So these appearances, these forms of the Lord are eternal because they are always present. Not always present within wherever we are present, but present in the totality of creation. So somewhere these pastimes are happening. So these forms of the Lord are not temporary, nor is Krishna limited. We may wear one set of clothes and then later change to another set of clothes and then to another set of clothes. But we don't simultaneously show ourselves in 5 different sets of clothes. Right? Just trying to use another example. That is because we are very limited. But Krishna can present himself in unlimited forms. And Prabhupada uses this word, and I say these plenary expansions. The meaning of plenary, it's not a word we use, but Śrīla Prabhupāda used it very precisely. Plenary, it comes from the Latin word plenum, which means complete. So the appearance of Matsya is a completely potent form of the Lord, but is only showing a certain feature, set of features for the purpose of appearance. But we should not mistake that Matsya avatar, because it's in the fish, is some lesser form, appearance of the Lord. It is complete, but it is only demonstrating a certain portion. So this is why Prabhupada uses the word, the plenary expansions. And we see this in Brahma Samhita with the example of the candles, right? Many candles are lit. They all burn with the same radiance, lumens, the power. But while they're all the same, there's still one source candle that was the source of light for all the others. That source is Kṛṣṇa. Right? But his expansions are also potent. So, when we think in this light, it's so extremely foolish to consider how Kṛṣṇa could be formless. Not only is he not formless, his form is so far beyond our capacity. He can maintain multiple forms simultaneously. He can maintain a form in any type of variety. It's not limited. And each of those forms are so powerful. Even he showed in this appearance 16,108 queens in Dwarka. And he is maintaining his form in such a way that he is present in each of the palaces. But see, even a master of the Ashtasiddhis, they can show multiple forms, but they cannot show each form doing something different. It's a mirror expansion they can do. That is the limit. But Kṛṣṇa 16,108 times in his form is showing a unique rasa which each queen, according to what her desire is and how to interact. Sometimes the relationship is very fiery, as Satyabhama. Sometimes their relationship is very much in a teasing mood, sometimes very subservient, all different rasas. And Kṛṣṇa is simultaneously maintaining. And who observed this? Narada Muni. Narada Muni goes and sees Kṛṣṇa in one palace. Then he goes to another palace and sees Kṛṣṇa again. Wait, what happened here? Kṛṣṇa, I just saw you. And he's confused. So Kṛṣṇa's form is so powerful and so mystic that it is very difficult to understand. And Prabhupada says in this, he quotes the verse from 7th chapter, that the impersonalists think I have no form, that I am formless. But at present I have accepted a form to serve a purpose. I mean, it's crazy. The Mayavadis will quote from Bhagavad Gita. They'll speak from Bhagavad Gita. But they say that Kṛṣṇa assumed a form when he came to the material world. They'll quote verses. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I'm the source of everything. And at the same time, say he is Nirakara, formless. It is the ultimate foolishness. And it's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned us. What did he say? That one must, not should, but one must avoid any philosophy that is even tinged with the slightest mayavad. Because, why? He says, sarvanash. Everything, sarva, everything will be destroyed. Mayavadi Bhasha? Suneva. You hear just a little bit of Mayavad Bhasha. Not it'll cause some harm, it's dangerous. It will destroy you. Destroy everything. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely protective of his followers. And he was very careful. Even when showing the Mahaprakash Lila, right? Who was not given darshan? Mukunda Datta. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotees asked, why you're not calling him? Because he goes and hears everywhere. What? Yeah, he is keeping relationships with all these people who are this. He's going and hearing everyone. And they came and told him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you cannot see him. And he said, okay. And then he says, ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when I can see him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, maybe after a few million lifetimes. The devotees are, I'm not telling him. How somebody could bring such a devastating piece of information that he'll have to wait millions of lifetimes. But finally they go back to Mukunda Datta and say, hey, sorry to say, please don't kill the messenger. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said millions of lifetimes. And Mukunda Datta starts dancing in ecstasy. He starts dancing in ecstasy. I have been guaranteed I'll see the Lord. What? A few million? No problem. I am going to see the... He understood. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always had multiple purposes. He was showing to devotees the depth of Mukunda Datta's devotion. But at the same time, showing to us, we must be extremely strict and disciplined in not hearing from anywhere and anything. Very dangerous. And so, Śrīla Prabhupāda is writing that this, he's quoting from Padma Purana, those who are envious and angry at the Lord are unfit to know the actual truth. So knowing about Krishna's form is only possible by the mercy of Guru Parampara, Guru Sadhu Shastra. And when our heart is free of envy, then we can know about the Lord. And why is that a case? Actually, that is also Krishna's mercy on the envious. One might think that why Krishna isn't revealing himself to everyone, right? When Krishna shows his Virat Roop in Kurukshetra, he has to give the Divya Chakshush first to Arjuna, the divine, to see. Everybody's on the battlefield, but no one else is seeing. Very few others are seeing this divine form of the Lord. So why Krishna restricts if he wants us all to go back home, back to Godhead, if he's our loving Father? Why he restricts? Why he's being selective? He doesn't show to the envious out of his love for them. Huh? When we have envy of someone, hearing or seeing their glories causes pain to us. Let me take a little tangent. How to know if we have envy of somebody? I say, no, I don't envy anybody. I have no envy. Simple.
If you dislike something,
When somebody glorifies that person and we feel pain. Why we would feel pain? They said nothing about us. They spoke nothing about us. They spoke only about this person. But we feel pain. That is envy. As soon as we hear, we'll say, that's not true. They don't know what this rascal is doing. All that, don't they know what I'm doing? They're glorifying it. I'm doing it. Envy. That is envy. As soon as there is some pain, discomfort in the heart, when we hear the glories of that other, we have envy. So Krishna knows that if someone has envy of him, they cannot tolerate hearing about his glories, knowing about his glories, knowing about him. So he keeps himself hidden to them, because it will cause pain in their heart. And it will make them more offenses. So at least to make them to a neutral point, he doesn't reveal himself to the envious. That is why. Not out of his own envy. Hey, you don't like me, I don't like you. No, Krishna doesn't work that way. So Krishna puts a curtain of illusion between himself and the envious, out of his love for the envious. It's a very intricate point. Understand, Krishna is doing to save that envious person from experiencing pain and creating more offenses. So at the end of Śrīla Prabhupāda, right, we see this prayer. Please remove the effulgence, because it is blinding my vision of your face. So this is the devotee has to pray to the Lord. You remove this curtain. When you go to some dramatical performance and the actors are on stage, you cannot see anything until the curtain is removed. But you don't remove the curtain. You don't go like we do in Srinathji Hall and open the curtain. No. Who removes the curtain? The proprietor. So we have to beg to Krishna. Remove this curtain of illusion so that I can see your form. So that I can understand your form. Understand the power of your position. So, this is the opportunity. Because the illusion Krishna puts out, Prabhupada uses the example because a verse refers to a magician. Right? A really good magician, if we have a good, better, best in magicians, the best magician creates the biggest illusion. Right? They can make a building disappear. They can make, some body cut in half. They can do some big things. Yeah? A small magician might, be able to do a card trick or something, right? So based on one's skill, what's the skill? How big illusion they can create. How big illusion Krishna creates? His illusion is so powerful that we are constantly interacting with Krishna. 24/7 we are interacting with Krishna. Either through his para or apara shakti. but we don't see it. We are immersed in Krishna's energies, which are non-different from him, but we don't see it. That's how powerful his illusion is. So removing that illusion, it only happens by the mercy of Krishna. Krishna can remove it. We cannot. We cannot remove Maya. And how do we remove it? Mamevaya prapadyante. She says, Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya drata. This energy is very difficult to overcome. Very difficult. But, if you surrender unto me, mayametam tarantite. At once, gone. Gone. So, this curtain of covering, this illusion, however, whatever we want to do, we have to have it removed. And it removes by Krishna when he sees that we are sincere to be in engaged, loving service with him. When the envy in our heart has been removed, then he will remove the curtain of illusion. So, just a little bit on this form of the Lord, we should understand very carefully how powerful Krishna's form is and how this form is very distinct and different from our form. Then we can come into knowledge. So, opposites, right? We are not this body, Krishna is his body. Very important. Okay? So, thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki. Any comments, questions, discussion?
Why Bhakti Saraswati says that try not to see Krishna, but do something that he can want to see you.
Yes, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, just like the example is given, if you want to go see the king, it's very difficult. Very difficult, impossible. But if you do something extraordinary in his kingdom, he'll come and see you. Right? To celebrate what you did. Like, often the presidents will go, when soldiers are in battle, the president will go to see the troops, to encourage the troops. Those who are fighting very valiantly in battle. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is telling us, render great devotional service to the Lord. And don't worry, the Lord will manifest himself to us. Because the pure devotee sees Krishna, we are all looking at the deities. But the pure devotee sees the same deities completely differently. Once Śrīla Prabhupāda was asked, Prabhupada, do deities really eat the offerings?
What?
Do the deities really eat the offerings? They were doubting, of course. We all have that doubt, right? We put the plate, we look, nothing moved, nothing changes, unless a mouse comes and takes something, nothing changes. Does deity really eat? And Prabhupada said, I can see the deities eating, but you cannot. I can see. Why? Premanjana chariti bhakti vilochanena. When the eyes are anointed with love of bhakti, then our eyes will see the Lord. We'll see the Lord. Millions of people were attending Rath Yatra with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But only a handful of devotees could see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in each of the 7 kirtan parties. He was dancing in all 7, but nobody could see, but a few. So, that's why we pray to the Lord. Give me the ability to see you. And that ability comes from our bhakti. Anything else?
I remember one point when you said that not strictly not hearable, Maya philosophy and all. I think Śrīla Prabhupāda also quotes like it's like drinking milk that has been like smitten snake, like it's like poisonous. That's what I think.
Yeah, this analogy of the milk being touched by the lips of a serpent is very important. But do you know what it means?
The poison said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that ink spot on the white channel is no more white channel.
There's no more white chowder, but why in this milk touched by the lips of a serpent? It's a very, very important and also powerful point that we should be very clear on. That milk will kill you. Right? Do we have any doubt? It will kill you.
Poison.
Because the serpent's poison has entered the milk. But what's the problem? There's a major problem. You can't see the poison. You can see the snake. It's not dangerous. You move away. You can see the snake. Move away. So why it says stay away from snake? No. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent, you drink the milk thinking it's regular milk. The point is, we can't see which philosophy has Mayavadi in it and which does not. We cannot see. No, I'm safe. I know what I'm hearing. No. Just like you don't know 2 pots of milk which has been touched. You cannot look at the color. You cannot know any difference. But the effect, one will kill you and one will nourish you. And that's why Prabhupada, when he took the first set of disciples to Vrindavan, holy land of Vrindavan, what did Prabhupada tell them? Don't hear from anybody. Nobody. Now the foolish will think Prabhupada is being possessive. He wants to control his disciples. But Prabhupada knew that these boys and girls, they won't know who is on. When Prabhupada says that, he's not saying that everybody in Vrindavan is bogus, no. But they'll not be able to distinguish who is authorized and who is not. So what is a safe thing to do? Don't hear from anybody. If you take your child into a mall, you tell your child, don't talk to any stranger. Does that mean every stranger is a bad person? No. But we don't know who is good and who. So what do you do out of caution? Don't talk to anybody. So if you really value your bhakti, you won't hear from anyone but Śrīla Prabhupāda. It doesn't mean, though, we have to be very careful, that everybody else is wrong. That's not what it means. But because I cannot know which milk has been touched by serpent and which milk is pure, it's better I take only the milk coming from Prabhupada. You have to carry both things in parallel. Do not make the offense that, everyone else is wrong, but do not make the catastrophic mistake. And, I have seen, others in this room have seen, the catastrophic result of hearing from unauthorized sources. No clue what was happening. No idea. But the result was black and white. So that's why this example of milk touched by the lips of the serpent, such a perfect example. Because we cannot see it. We have to be very, very careful with this. Where we hear from. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, do not hear. And he gave the example using Mukunda Datta as the example. Of course, he was a pure devotee of the Lord, but he wanted to show us that we should be very careful. Śrīla Prabhupāda was very protective. And you know, one fact is there. Anyone who started hearing outside of Śrīla Prabhupāda eventually left.
They're gone. Gone. So many people were telling, oh, Prabhupada is giving you the beginner only. I'll give you Raga Bhav. I'll give you this Bhav. He is giving you the introduction. He did a good job. But now I'll take you to graduate studies. Oh, yeah, Prabhupada he's given us these books. Yeah, oh, okay. Gone. Yes,
Gone. Gone means lose all their bhakti. So one should be, if you value your bhakti, if you don't value it, then do what you want. But if you value your bhakti, we value our children, so we don't let them go anywhere out of our sight. We value our money, so we don't let it go anywhere out of our sight. But our bhakti, I'll hear from this, I'll hear from that, I'll go this, I'll go. It's crazy. Crazy. It's drinking milk touched by the lips of a serpent, but not knowing which pot has been touched and which is not. Thank you for bringing that point. But these analogies and these metaphors, we go a few layers deeper. They're very powerful. And Prabhupada was so expert. His greatest contribution to humanity is this ability to, now how easy it is for us to understand the point of Mayavad philosophy by this milk, right? We can't see that this was Prabhupada's brilliance. That he could use a relatable subject to make something we cannot even understand relate. It was his amazing ability. Just like Narottam Das Thakur was able to take the really intricate and deep philosophy and boil it down into simple bhajans. Śrīla Prabhupāda's contribution like that is extraordinary and very unique. Very unique.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime with Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was respecting so much to Advaita Acharya, he did not like it because he is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is master of Advaita Acharya actually, and being a Mahavishnu. So they decided to fill Mayavad philosophy.
Yeah.
Discuss it. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard about it, he went there and started beating him up in his courtyard. His courtyard, beating up. Sita Mata said, "Please, don't, he's old man, he will die, And then, at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told about that he was giving Krishna Prema to everybody but not Sachimata. His own mother, because she had mentally thought that he took away his older son. Because he ran away, they went back to the house. So then, Sachimata went and touched the Advaita Acharya's feet. And then now she can get Krishna Prema. So how
dangerous it is that his own mother, he was playing the thing. Then it's very, very dangerous. There's nothing, there is no excuse about anything.
No, we have to be very careful. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita is so powerful, because we see so many lessons of that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used the dear most, right? Sachimata, Mukundatta, Advaitacharya, Srivas Thakur, some of these personalities to show us these, the etiquette and the very important, because we have to be precise in our practice of bhakti. If we are loose, the results will be loose, like, just like a chemist in a laboratory. If the chemist in the laboratory is, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit here, then the result won't manifest. They're very precise. Exactly 2 millimeters of this, liters this, 1 milliliter this, at this temperature, heat for this long, very precise. Then the reaction generates. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, to Rupa Goswami through Nectar of Devotion, the precise process, very precise. Just follow it. And he teaches us that.
My Guru, my Rabindranath asked Prabhupada, how do you say that Mayavadi philosophy to stay away? How do we recognize that? Okay. You cannot recognize it very, very carefully unless you are advanced such a level. You will see immediately what is. Otherwise you cannot find
You can't see it.
And that's why stay away from it.
You can't see it. When in doubt,
Stay away.
be safe. Be safe.
No.
That is the safe and smart position. But the free will is ours. Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki.